The Fanfiction Power Hour is a comedy podcast between friends that does not attempt straightforward readings. The links to the fanfictions are in the description if you would prefer an unaltered experience and to support the authors by giving the stories a like.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Jen and Wizzy's Fanfiction Power Hour. I am your host for tonight, Wizzy Puff, joined as always by the lovely Jen.
Hello, everybody. It's great to see you all again. Oh, man, is it a bonus episode? It feels like a bonus episode day.
Man, really? I thought we were
Yeah.
going to go straight to July 4th. I already have my American flag all prepared.
Well, you better paint that rainbowy, because we're actually not going to be doing that yet. Next week.
Oh, boy.
But what a perfect time for a bonus episode, because we actually have a special guest. This fucking spider that I just noticed.
Oh, no.
Yeah, there is a
This is a
spider in my
gay
room.
spider.
I think it's probably a woman.
Okay.
That doesn't disclude the gay part, but that's just an extra fact.
It's a saphipider. I don't know. I'm trying to find a pun there. You get what I'm going for.
Yeah. So anyways, sorry about that audio quality there. I just realized that I had looked away from the microphone.
Oh no.
So that's going to be annoying.
I would also rather look at the spider at the moment rather than the microphone.
It's like a million years away.
Oh, okay.
Although if I will probably keep looking back at it throughout the recording.
Oh god.
I could probably get rid of it right now. But that would be so hard.
It does sound like an issue that you could be dealing with. But remember, there are always bigger fish to fry. Oh, speaking of which, you know what we're going to be reading tonight?
Fallout Equestria?
Fallout Equestria, the gayest fanfiction there is.
It actually is pretty gay.
Oh, dang. That kind of makes sense. It's hard to make straight relationships in this universe.
Yeah. It's so true. Yeah, the main character's a lesbian.
Awesome. Just like in the Celestia Code and Sunlight Sliders.
God damn, this freaking fandom is so queer.
Speaking of queer, that's actually what we're going to be reading tonight is There Are Always Bigger Fish to Fry by Red Hoodie 21. Because, you know, it does make sense that we should be giving the gays, the LGBTs, as they call themselves, another episode this year. Because it feels like Pride Month is really kind of under siege, let's say.
By the men's mental health month.
I hate men! They're trying to ruin June! First with Father's Day, whatever that is.
God.
Then with my brother's birthday.
Then with my father's birthday.
What is up with men in this month? Like, get over yourselves.
They're all horrible.
I suck. But don't worry, everyone. I'll make up for it by being gay.
Yay!
So, as a queer does in this time of the year, let's get started with There Are Always Bigger Fish to Fry by Red Hoodie 21. And if you want to fry the biggest fish of them all, just go down into the description and click on that link. You can read the story, or you can give the author a like. You could probably even follow them. I'm not sure what this site allows. Just go ahead and do that. I'll wait a minute.
You can follow them.
You can't follow. You can only.
No, you can. You can follow them.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said can't.
How dare you?
Sorry, I'm just in a pony mood, and I was thinking of the word canter. All right. Chapter 1. Out of the frying pan and into the pyre. Out of the frying pan and into the pyre. October crisp, golden October. The slow drag of winter had already begun to bloom ice floes across the pier, sticking to its yearly prey of rotten boards and capsized boats. Even with the sun setting, lighting the world ablaze with colors, a flurried jury of snow lays. What is that?
Got it.
Oh, you killed the spider?
Yeah. Had to be done.
R.I.P. Peter.
There we go. I don't know if you heard the fucking toilet.
Oh no. Oh no. Is she dead?
I just flushed it.
And
Yeah, she's dead.
Oh, okay. Well, at least she gets the honor of a goldfish funeral.
Yep. We respect the spiders in our house. It's just don't come into my room and I won't have a problem with you.
Yeah, it's like the same rule for people. If you're an intruder and you come into the room, don't expect to just be fed.
Yeah. And also don't be as big as a quarter. That's another death sentence for you.
Now I'm scared.
Don't be.
Hopefully this story can comfort me. Even with the sun setting, lighting the world ablaze with colors, a flurried jury of snow lazily drifted down, hitting the rooftops like a gavel to a sound block. It chipped and whittled away at the old wood, soaking deep into its long dead bark. The evening was foggy, even after the sun had tried to breathe warmth back into the earth. Even after the sun had tried to breathe warmth back onto the earth. Like trying to warm your hands with your breath, it was in vain.
Celestia's just looking at a globe going, ah, ah.
Oh, God. It was in vain, however, but the long fingers of the sunset still clawed across the horizon, leaving long shadows from its wake. The distant dream of summer still echoed through the hollow slits of carnival rides and game stalls. Shuttered and empty, a ghost town at the mercy of its sole inhabitant, the ocean.
Ah.
Not again!
Damn you, wet Equestria!
The deadliest villain in all of fan fiction. The ocean.
Water.
The salty waves spit in the air, crashing down white water like the gleam of a chef's knife against a cutting board. They rose and fell, sometimes folding the white edge into itself, like how doves tucked their wings, or how children curled the edge of their blankets to their chin.
Oh.
Hey, children! The wind whipped wildly, in bouts of restlessness. It pulled down hoods and ripped umbrellas from hands, pushed people against buildings until they almost walked sideways, even tripped people over by either blurring their sight or just sheer happenstance. It wasn't helped by the subtle rocking and creaking of the wood below, groaning with generation upon generation of weight and weathering. If you stood still long enough, you could feel the gentle sway of the night ever so slowly push and pull against the silted pier. And if you closed your eyes for only a moment... What was that?
I was making a reference. And if you close your eyes...
Oh my god. I thought you were saying heyo because it was like a sex pun or something.
Nope.
And I didn't get it.
Unless that song was
Oh
about
my
sex.
god. Yo. It's like a volcano, like sex, am I right?
Bro.
Guys, please tell me I'm right. If anyone out there has had sex, please tell me if there's a euphemism here.
Don't look at me.
And if you close your eyes for only a moment, you could even believe that you were floating on the waves below. The water continued to heave up and down the rocks and tangles of trash. Adagio watched the waves with a deep yearning in her soul. These waters, though wild and free, were another reminder of the manacle of humanity now forced upon her, an anchor to her own waves mocking her with their fury. How ironic. How pathetic. She sighed and savored the last bits of warmth summer still clung to, trying not to recall what had happened at the beginning of the season. But it would always be there at the end, haunting her, taunting her, because now there was an end to face now. A better being would reconcile with their new sudden change. Her sisters, both her better and worse halves, were better at this. It's why they left after all, and why she was subjecting herself to this stupid, incompetent, inane, completely ridiculous.
Hey.
Sunset Shimmer waved at her once enemy, jogging up from the pier to join her.
Sorry I'm late. Had to find a parking spot for my bike.
She joined Adagio in leaning against the railing on the pier, letting her breath catch up to her for a moment. Adagio sized her up immediately, knowing now not to underestimate this pony-turned-human. Her leather jacket was worn, originally a smooth, shiny black. It had grown matte with apparent age. Crackles of brown velvet skin spread from its joints like an oily morning, still murky with cloudy river-soaked veins that rumbled and pushed against gravity like stubborn smokers' lungs. The frayed hem of her jeans tucked in her thick-soled boots, and the shiny leather of her fingerless riding gloves was stark against her cornstarch jeans. And Adagio could see just the hint of color from beaded, weaved, even embroidered friendship bracelets on her wrists hidden under spiked black wristbands. But that's not what held her attention, no. It was what Sunset wore on her neck that drew her attention. The thing she always looked for first on a person, even if it was instinctual rather than rational. And lo and behold, one of her damned saviors was wearing one. She felt like puking.
Bleh. So,
Sunset rocked on the balls of her feet.
I was thinking for our first meeting we could try...
Adagio cut in, still zeroed in on Sunset's neck. Is this some sort of joke?
Huh?
Sunset replied, dumbfounded and surprised. This. Adagio pinched the tip of a shiny green ribbon tied around Sunset's neck. Is this meant to be some sort of mockery of our gems? Sunset involuntarily reached up to the hollow point of her throat, where a red gem would have set if present.
Oh, I didn't realize...
She trailed off for a moment before focusing back on Adagio.
No, I didn't mean for it to come off that way.
Adagio hummed for a moment, creaky and out of tune, still pinching the ribbon between her fingers before dropping it like it was hot. The so-called friendship ambassador is already insulting her first assignment. She strutted back the way Sunset came, leaving the ribbon fluttering in her wake. Keep this up and you'll definitely get me on your side.
Will do.
And that's how they continued, and she suddenly learned to respect Sunset more. The end.
Ah, the magic of friendship. Everyone deserves a second chance.
Sunset huffed, almost stepping on her heels from behind her. Adagio rolled her eyes so hard it hurt. Let's just get this over with. Doodly doodly doo. Sunset hit her head against the railing, the cool, almost frozen metal doing wonders for her headache.
Ooh.
She had tried everything. Games, food, hell, even a knitting club. But no luck. Adagio watched from beside her, dully checking her nails for any lingering ash from the knitting fiasco. Never trust a bitch named Beverly within weapon distance. Beverly, no!
Beverly, yes.
Man. Beverly, that's like a human name, too.
Yeah,
So uncommon.
that's why you don't trust him.
Yeah. That's true. What if it's like a changeling type thing?
Ooh.
Ugh.
Be very funny if all the changelings had, like, normal human names.
Words to live by.
I think I know what's wrong.
Sunset muttered, resting her head against the railing. Adagio groaned. You're fruitlessly trying to justify dethroning the most powerful creature in your puny existence with friendship? Sunset stood up straight, turning fully to enter Adagio's space, grinning deviously and full of cunning.
I keep doing the things that taught me friendship. What I really need to do is pick the thing that will teach you friendship instead.
Adagio grinned back, baring her teeth in the way they both knew was meant to be a threat. Animalistic, ravenous, curious. Oh, and pray tell, what is this mysterious thing that will finally tame the great siren, Adagio?
Pray tell, we're not going to God about this.
But please, can they please go to God, aka Principal Celestia, the one who raises the cafeteria prices, I guess?
Do principals do that?
I don't know. What do principals even do?
I think they just tell kids to shut up if they come to their office. Something like that.
Screw principals!
Down with principals! Do you hear the students sing? The same thing that brought you down.
Sunset began, the blue of her eyes shining inhumanly for a second. Doodly doodly doo. The ceilings were low, painted black that made you really feel enclosed in. Exposed brick on one wall with heavy vampire red muslin theater curtains hung across the opposite side. Mismatched picture frames splattered across the walls. Sharpied over dollar store families hung next to ornate gold leaf frames with Art Nouveau drawings of scantily clad women trapped inside. Blue smoke draping down from the ceiling in thick plumes blowing across sweaty faces. What is this thing? What are they performing?
I have no idea.
The deep rumbles of the bass and drum ripped through the air, quite literally sending goosebumps through the smoke, from up and down the bar to the stage, like a personal frequency meter that blared the peaks and valleys of the song onto the street. The crowd moved with the song, breathing, jostling, cramped elbows stuck in, arms stuck in the air, dancing that was more shuffling in the same 2x2 area. Adagio watched them, Humans, bodies of moving flesh and blood, from her self-proclaimed throne on a red velvet couch tucked in the corner of the room, just out of sight where the human flesh bags couldn't see her if they didn't know to look, and most didn't bother. It both irked and pleased her. Sunset suddenly came into view, parting the masses in a way she didn't consciously know she was doing, but she still had her moments of hitting shoulders and stepping on toes. Adagio watched her every movement, letting her eyes stretch across Sunset, a spotlight in the dark, dingy club. Unless that's dingy.
That could be dingy.
Sorry, this is a reference to another fanfic where we read the word dingy as dingy, or dingy as dingy.
Oh, yeah. What was that?
I think there was actually two, because I was listening to one recently where you said that, but you acted like it was a reference to another episode, so I don't know where the original one was from. And it nearly giggled at the way the pony-turned-human shuddered under the eyes of a true predator. She would learn that, with time, and perhaps a biting hand.
Hot.
I really wanted to do that. Breaking free of the sweat-slinging crowd, Sunset loomed over the siren, drink sweating in both hands, blocking the bit of dim light behind her head. Adagio felt no challenge or threat at her meager attempt at imitation, only a lingering sense of thrill at the hunt.
Come here often?
Sunset smirked down at her. Adagio laughed a broken, throaty, and clipped note that came with the same sounding pain as pulling a shard of glass out from your foot.
Ew.
All right, I'll try and imitate that. Something like that.
Good. Good job.
Only when I'm forced to. She crackly purred. Sunset hummed in reply, sending down one of the sugary neon blue and pink drinks next to the siren. Careful now, Adagio chimed in, resting the points of her canines over her lips. Wouldn't want someone to, spike your drink. She slowly dragged her middle finger around the salty, sugary rim.
Good thing that I'm holding mine then.
Sunset placidly said. Sunset kneeled down, knee first, into the soft plush velvet love seat that Adagio presided over her makeshift kingdom in. Her knee balanced between Adagio's legs. She twisted and turned until she sat on top of the arm of the chair, batting her eyelashes at Adagio so close to her face she could feel the minuscule hairs brush her cheek.
This seat taken?
She asked, feigning dumb kindness. It was. Adagio scowled, sneaking a hand around Sunset's waist, making sure to drag the edge of her acrylic nails against the exposed flesh of her hip. Then it got taken up by a tall, hot glass of skank. Ooh!
It's not that tall.
That word really bites there. Sunset took a sip of her drink, letting the sweat from the glass hit Adagio's face.
Classy.
Adagio growled, sounding like nails on a chalkboard. She felt less like a bird trapped in a cage to sing, and more of a fish with human teeth that bites when the water stirs. And by Celestia, the water was disturbed.
You know, I've tried a lot of things to teach you friendship.
Sunset muttered, looking out across the raving sea of bodies with a wistful look in her eyes.
Even some you probably didn't even notice me doing.
Adagio felt like gagging. Why bother? We both know how this little plan ends. You on the leash of that perky purple princess, and me actually living a free and wondrous life. Sunset turned her head to address the siren.
And how has that wondrous life been lately,
You've got a lot of nerve to be yanking my tail when you're the one sitting on my lap. Adagio gripped her hand into a fist against Sunset's lower back. yet her prey didn't so much as flinch.
Not the first time Adagio has been Santa Claus.
Oh, that's so good. Man, Adagio really just likes people on her lap.
Yep. You didn't stop me.
Celestia damned her. What she wouldn't give to bite that smug tone right out of her neck.
I don't blame you, by the way, for the Battle of the Bands.
Then you are as stupid as your mentor. Adagio gruffly barked the words out, relaxing her hand just a little.
Perhaps.
Sunset gulped down another shot of her drink, setting it to the side.
Perhaps I want to do something stupid to get back at her.
Adagio leaned forward, brows furrow and licking her lips. Don't call me stupid. Sunset leaned in for a kiss, breath skirting on the edge of Adagio's jaw, sending lapping waves of smoke across her lips, down her neck, before dissolving into nothingness across her collarbones. Man. Just have sex already, please. Like, who are you
Or
kidding?
kill each other. Both is kind of hot.
Yeah, one after the other. Go ahead. Doesn't matter which order.
Yeah.
I mean, we already read Mortissimo, so.
God, we did. God. What the fuck was up with Mortissimo, man?
Man, I don't know. That had to have been like, sorry, spoilers for Mortissimo. Bon Bon had died at some point, and
Vinyl.
then Vinyl. This was Vinyl and Octavia? Oh, God.
Yeah.
My memory is so bad with these couples.
Clearly.
Vinyl had died at some point, and then Octavia like got some spell to resurrect her, but like it backfired.
But Octavia can't do magic. She's an earth pony.
But like she could get a pony. Like she begged Twilight to, and Twilight's like, she'll just end up being like a winking corpse. You realize that, right? And she's like, yeah, so.
Although perhaps perhaps it's an earth pony magic thing because they have the whole magic with the earth and stuff. Perhaps it's like they can do a form of necromancy when they bury a corpse.
Once the corpse becomes one with the earth, they can bring life back to it.
That's such a cool idea. And that's why it's preferred to burn the bodies in Equestria.
Where's this fact?
It isn't.
I wish it were. But of course they wouldn't deal with things like funeral rites.
There was a scene involving a funeral, actually, once.
Oh.
I think Apple Bloom or Sweetie Belle, or it was in season 2 on the Valentine's Day episode. Yeah, Sweetie Belle jumps, or one of the Cutie Mark Crusaders just kind of interrupts a funeral, I think, when singing about trying to get Cheerilee a date.
Oh my god! And like, maybe the man inside this box, and then like open it up and it's a decaying corpse.
No, but I think that would have been funnier.
It's just because they think Cheerilee is like really old because they're babies.
They probably do think she's like 87 or something.
You remember being like that young and thinking like, wow, teenagers are big kids.
Yeah, teenagers were super tall and stuff, man.
They were mean.
Yeah.
All right, teenagers listening to this,
Fuck you.
calm down. Even without touching, Adagio could taste the bitter vinegar on those lips. Like she hadn't been kissed in so long her tongue almost turned to alcohol with desire. Filled with that yearning you can only find at the bottom of a bottle. Vinegar and alcohol are both fermented, but they do not taste similar at all. Okay. Let this be stated.
Okay. Take it off.
Sunset whispered almost, chewing the words against Adagio's ear. lightly taking Adagio's hand and guiding it to the edge of the ribbon around her neck.
Hold on now. Is Sunset's head gonna fall off? I don't know if you know that reference.
I don't know that reference.
There's a story. I can't remember if it was like a scary stories to tell in the dark thing. Let's see here. Okay. It was just a collection of urban stories, horror stories, urban legends, and stuff like that. There's a story about a green ribbon around a girl's neck, and eventually she always wears it. She grows up, gets old, gets married, tells her husband, hey, you could finally pull off the green ribbon around my neck. It might have been purple or something, I don't know. And when he does, her head falls off.
Oh, it's supposed to be like kind of like a symbol of her chastity or something like that, maybe.
Oh, that's a good possibility, actually. But yeah, I think it was referenced in The Wolf Among Us.
Oh.
That's just a little fact there. Yeah, so that's that. Just a little fun thing for you. And a theory on where this is going to be going.
What happened after they pulled off the ribbon?
Her head falls off.
Oh, okay. That's it?
That's it. As far as I know, that's it.
God.
Probably dies.
That would kind of make sense with her mouth tasting like vinegar. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
You've earned it.
Adagio grinned. Finally. Things were going her way. Pinching the edge of the ribbon, Adagio pulled, unspooling it from Sunset's neck. Then Sunset arched her head back, neck bared to Adagio's face, and she kept going and going and going. With every subsequent horrid crack and snaps of muscles and bones popping air bubbles between them, the green ribbon that had once been neatly tied around Sunset's neck fell away, and she bent her neck further and further until the back of her head touched her shoulder blades, and the real reason for the moment became clear. A pez came out of her neck, and Adagio ate it. I wish that's how this ended.
Okay, that would have been stupid, but I would have that would have been like some fucking what's it called? The troglodytes shit.
Man. A puckered pink outline warped around her neck. Something that could have been mistaken for a scar was instead lips to the second mouth between her jugular and chin, perfectly sliced across the pale flesh of her neck. The muscles inside Sunset's body squeezed and relaxed with every breath, and Adagio could see the marrow churning inside the notches of her spine that bent with her head like a slinky downstairs.
That's lovely.
What the frick?
I mean it.
Well, they do make sense. They do make reference to one kid's toy. It wasn't a Pez, but her tongue lolled out, not from the remaining stump of her neck, but from Sunset's head. Looking down the barrel of her head, a peak of light shone through where her first mouth was, like someone had taken a flashlight and pressed it against fingertips. A dull bruise yellow edging on a ripe red. Rows of teeth, a mismatched human menagerie of yellow, white, even plated gold. Plaque-ridden teeth gleamed in the low light, glittering like white-hot stars. They circled around the edge of her neck-mouth. In fact, if it wasn't so dark, Adagio would have been able to see them underneath her skin before this even happened. Grinning, laughing without ever having to move Sunset's face. And then she bit down. The end. Author's note. If you can find the meatloaf reference, you get a cookie. Aw, man, there was a reference to the singer Meatloaf.
I didn't notice it.
I bet my mom would have. That was There Are Always Bigger Fish to Fry by Red Hoodie 21. What did we think of this?
Well, that was weird.
I definitely think it's a reference to the story you were talking about at this point, but maybe taking it in a different direction.
Like it. Let's see if anybody in the comments had thought about it. Oh, okay. Yeah, the author talks about it here. Have you ever heard about the story have you ever read the story about the girl in the green ribbon? If not, I highly recommend it. But the bare bones of that story is that a girl must wear a green ribbon tied around her neck or her head will fall off. In this case, instead of Sunset's head falling off, the ribbon was hiding a second mouth that was on her throat, which when opened, caused her head to appear ripped off, and she bit Adagio's face off with her second mouth. Hope this helps.
Oh, God. Okay.
Well, that actually does make a
it.
lot more sense.
This is a lot better than reading the comments and realizing that the Celestia Code wasn't actually based on the Da Vinci Code.
It's actually the description, but whatever.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, wow. I think Red Hoodie, first off, I did enjoy it, but I think Red Hoodie 21 themselves says it the best. They write overblown, purple, self-indulgent prose. I definitely feel that. I need like snappier, just like snappier descriptions and stuff like that. I get lost in all these words, and it's like, ooh, these are fancy words. I'm not focusing on the story. And it's not particularly difficult story to follow, I guess. But I would have followed it a bit better if it wasn't like that. No offense to the author, of course.
I think during the first half I would kind of agree with you, but I'm not sure if it's for the same reasons that it was hard to follow. I just felt like I really kind of caught on more during the second half, though. Because I still don't understand what that building they were in was. What was that about?
I'm not really sure, actually.
Also, what is up with the title of the fic and chapter?
Okay, so I have no idea about the chapter title. I think in this case, Sunset is a form of siren. As in, like, she's luring Adagio in to eat her.
Oh my God, I forgot that siren fish. Oh, yeah, that makes a lot more sense. Thank you.
Yeah, I literally just, when you asked what's with the title, I was like, oh, that's it. I completely didn't realize that until now.
Aw, man.
So yeah, we can both agree that Adagio pulled out her hidden knife and stabbed her in the face?
I think that's how it ended, yeah. Just like how
Probably.
NotFunny.jpegasus ended the same way, with Scootaloo doing that to Rainbow Dash.
Oh man, that would have been a better way to end that.
Scootaloo does like a spin kick and knocks the gun to aim at Rainbow Dash at the last second.
Pretty sure it was a shotgun, so that would be like wild. So yeah, it did get saucy a bit.
True.
Personally, though, I was a bit more turned on by the ending. With the neck mouth opening up.
Yeah, how about you give us the vor tag?
I don't think that's a tag. But yeah,
I do think this was a good ending fic for Pride Month, specifically the month of sad queers or whatever we were doing.
It started out toxic and then just devolved.
I think that Sunset, I don't know. Do you think Sunset was worse in this or in the first fic we read? First one's free.
At least now Adagio doesn't have to live with the consequences of her actions.
Yeah. It was like a quick death that she just like snapped down. Yep, she's probably dead now. With Pinky, it does seem a little bit worse.
Yeah. Pinky has to live with the fact that she accidentally caused her friend turned girlfriend into an addict, and then said friend had betrayed her trust after they broke up and became friends.
Addict / mental rapist of some kind? I don't know what you really call that at that point.
Kind of mental rapist, yeah.
It kind of feels harsh, but also accurate.
It's what she did.
Yeah.
God, that was... So yeah. Surprisingly, this isn't the most fucked up story we've read this month.
Like we knew something crazy was going to happen here. With the other one, I feel a little more caught off guard, especially.
Yeah. Like, I didn't expect that one to have... We talk about all of this in that episode as well, so I don't know why we're doing it here, but like that one was definitely... I expected it to have a dark ending. I didn't expect it to be dark in that way.
Yeah, I was just expecting the heartbreak of breakup, but that was really like, oh, geez, she's really doing it.
Yep.
With this one, it's like, I appreciate how the story went. It flowed very well. It, like, paced itself evenly to the point that I knew exactly this is going to turn out horrible as it kept ramping up.
Yeah, definitely. It was fun. I don't know. I really do like the ending, though. That was like, of all the things, monster and neck. She has teeth.
Yep.
Would you date a woman? Well,
no.
Okay, I shouldn't ask that specifically. Would you date a person with a mouth on their neck?
You know what? I would definitely date this tall drink of water, Alexandrite. This is a reference to Steven Universe for anyone who doesn't get it. Please watch Steven Universe. Very good show.
It has its ups and downs, but it's pretty good overall. All right. Do we have anything else to say about this?
I think that this is kind of wrapping it up, which is really sad because I love Pride Month. This has been a really successful Pride Month, everyone. I've felt very seen by the community.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone, for listening. I will bid you a good night.
Good night, everybody. Have a happy 28th. When is this coming out?
28th.
Okay. Yeah, that. Happy rest of Pride Month, everybody. And don't go outside.
Or else Sunset's gonna get ya with her neck mouth.
Good night.
See ya. And the FBI's at my door.
Well, let them in.
No! You know, they're like vampires. They can only come in if you invite them. And I don't know what they want to do in here.
And why aren't you inviting them?
They might, like...
You are such an ungracious host.
Okay, they might want to put some handcuffs on me, you know? I don't like that.
Kinky.
Oh. You know what? Come on in, boys.
They just shoot you. It's really unfair, actually.